Okie dokie. I just got Yaoyao. I actually got off the pool and I actually chose a Yunjin constellation for my Lantern White choice, but that's besides the point. I've been playing a lot with, say, Barber and Collie. These two are very flexible in the teams they can have. I've probably got about 4 or 5 different teams now I can make with this. I just previewed a Xinjiang team. I've actually just currently debuilt that, but she was good for that team and that set. If you wanted to do that, and I got another constellation, but I thought I'd show Yao Yao, and she's not built here at all. She's got artifacts, I suppose, but in terms of like talents and level, she's only level 50, and she has got a weapon. She's got Zhangling's old weapon. And at first I was a bit like, not so sure how she's going to be decent. Once again, I'm using my Barbara to enable the bloom reaction. I've showcased my Barbara quite a bit, but I'll quickly go over it again. We've got a Gilded Dream set, which in my initial video I had energy recharge and crit damage, and I've since changed that to a crit rate piece, and it's got an attack piece. I've still got an EM piece as her main thing. I can quickly show you the stats. It's got like 600 EM. None of my teams or anyone in my accounts overbuilt. You could whale or get way higher than this, but I've just kind of mid-maxed a lot of people. And so Yaoyao, I've been wanting to use this new artifact set. Because I have Wanderer, I was farming this domain for a long time. I've spent a few thousand resin the last few weeks on this domain, and I'll be honest, I haven't really had any good Desert Pavilion set out of it. I've just recently switched some of my artifacts around once again, spent the last day or so doing it. As I said, I've debuilt Xinjiang, but that's not really a big deal. I did have like Hyper Bloom Razor build as well with this set, but again, it's kind of disappeared. This might have been initially Razor's piece actually. So I went with an EM piece, and got a Dendro damage piece, and we got a crit rate piece. Maybe this could be Elemental Mastery as well. That'll probably be a bit better. I think crit rate's kind of the ideal, though, what you want in the overall scaling of Elemental Mastery. And I went with a Dragon's Bane. I initially wanted to use this prototype Star Glitter, but it just doesn't fit with her kit really at all. And even though I use this on, say, Yunjin, between the two, I noticed this one is definitely doing a lot more damage, and it suits her quite nicely as well. I think I've seen some previews of her with it, but I'm not too sure. No talents, I say. It's not level 2. I'm going to working on to work on building her the next week or so. It's going to take a while with all the resin limit and things we have, so that's fine. But I felt she's powerful enough here that I could do a showcase, and this isn't even ascended. I need to go and do another boss run to get that up. But characters usually at this level, if they're built well, you get an idea how they're going to be. If they're not built well, or if they're generally not very good, or they're built wrong, you get a very good idea they're not going to be very good. And even if you pump the stats up and pump the talents up, and I think that's one ideal of keeping the talents, say, low at like 6. It actually gives you a good idea of who's good and who isn't. And what build is good and what isn't, rather than just, you can essentially, if you want to, you can make any build really work in this game. But we'll go and do some demonstration on my usual run here. I've got Sucrose is a bit broken. My Sucrose is going to be a little bit out of the ordinary, which I can quickly show you that. We've got Stringless with Collie. And then just a deep wood set which is kind of average with attack, dendro, and crit damage. And then yeah, Sucrose is a little bit special. I've just swapped these around again now, which is on my account. Mainly the Anemo characters. I was trying to fit something for Wanderer, but I can't find a better set than this Shimenawa. It's fine. It's a really good set. And so the only thing I pulled out of this domain, of this Desert Pavilion set, was 2 Elemental Mastery pieces, and they're both with kind of rough substats. And this actually works really well on Sucrose. I've been quite enjoying it, so that's why she's got it. She's got finally a full EM set. But the other thing that she's got is it's got C2, 6 talents. But she's got Nahida's weapon, and I understand that's kind of not really usual. You would usually have her say with sacrificial fragments, and if and when I do get Nahida, I recently pulled another sacrificial fragments, which I'm keeping there for her. If that does happen, because I will put her back on a sacrificial fragments. It works really well for her, but obviously my Barbara's currently got my main one. Yeah, so it's a bit unique. I would say you're not really missing any different, really. Obviously there's a bit of a buff going on with Nahida's weapon. I've just used it because she's the best person I can have for it, but my initial idea was just to show Barbara and Yaoyao here. Essentially, she's Dendro Zhangling, which is pretty good. Apart from her burst is a little bit awkward. I found myself ending it early, which you shouldn't be doing. But this is just a Bloom team. It's kind of a bit of a tricky Bloom team because there's no freezing going on, and I personally prefer a Fridge team. You have to kind of probably be a bit more mobile in this instance.
Ready, steady, go!
That wasn't intentional.
Enhanced animal module 70.
And these guys freezing me, stop, please. Oh, you killed Yaoyao. Video over. Video over. I should have gone for the freezing guys. Fuck's sake. So mean. So mean. I think they're the only freezing people on this run though, so I don't know. I'm still going to run with it. Yaoyao's dead. Can she come back from the brink of death?
Let me try.
Absorption test. Stay put. Solid amber. Help. Stand clear.
No, I didn't mean to use Barbara's burst before. That was a mistake. But I'm going to use Collie's burst.
Animal test 6301. Go, Barbara, go.
Right, on this next group, I'll just do Yaoyao and Barbara. Just show the difference, because my Collie does anything from sort of 10 to 14k on Bloom burst. And that's obviously, I think, because of Barbara anyway. But and with Sucrose, we've got a boost going on. Obviously, Sucrose gives EM, but I'll just use Yaoyao and Barb here and see what we get. And I think it's usually in the similar numbers. Obviously, getting them to stand in the blooms helps. So there you go. Hit for a couple of K, 10k over there.
Let the show begin.
Got 10k again. Obviously, gets a lower numbers. Got Hyper Bloom going off. We'll get Yaoyao up again.
Go, Barbara, go.
So I think for this reason, I think she's going to be a great secondary unit. These guys are brutal. So some of these are ticking for 3k. I did initially have an attack piece on Yaoyao. I don't know if that's better. I'll probably try it, I suppose. I can do it in this video. Oh, I'm trying to look at the balloons. 3k. Maybe it's on like the crit. 3k.
Stay put.
He's resetting. They're both resetting. Fantastic. Great mechanic. Nothing like fighting one of the giant hilly trails and it just resets halfway through your battle. You're like, oh, nice. Yeah, these guys are probably a little bit too mobile for Bloom. This is why I prefer the Fridge teams, because you can freeze them, you can Bloom all day, and the damage all ticks.
Let the show begin.
How's this?
So a few ticks full for 10k. Now 9,400, they're all on ticks. Alright, let's head in these guys and then...
Stand clear. Animal hypostasis. Practice on yourself.
Are you serious? You're not getting pulled into this? I think think I've still got it. I don't know if I burned it. Oh, many artifacts spare. I think we burned it. Yeah, I probably burned it into something else. It's fine. Let's go do a test between the two. I'm pretty sure this EM piece was still overall better. But I could be wrong. Could be wrong.
I'll protect us. Animal test 60.
Lucky day.
I mean, some people said you want energy recharge on a... I suppose.
Absorption test.
You probably want energy recharge, get a burst up nice and often, but...
Oh no! Stand clear. Just like we rehearsed.
Finally, Hydra.
Ready, steady, go!
To the berry.
Now, I have considered... I have considered building Candice, say this bloom team. And she could enable Yaoyao to almost DPS for a bit, but I tested a little bit with it, and I might well still build it, and I might well still do a video on it if it's any good, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Yes.
Because I think Candice is HP scaling on her damage particularly, and I assume you'd want to build her for EM if that's what you're going to do. If you want, say, Yaoyao to do good damage with her infusion in, say, this sort of team, so instead of Sucrose you had Candice. I don't know. It could be good. She's obviously super niche and not really got any uses, and a Bloom team would kind of be the main use, but this team's kind of got the main problem of what I said about earlier, where because they can't really freeze anybody, you're kind of used to what we're having a bit of a problem with, and they just get bullied around because you're having to almost wait. It's kind of like setting a C4 or a long-timed grenade. The bloom, like you have to apply like the Hydra and the Dendro to generate the bloom, and you have to constantly apply Hydra with Barbara to then basically generate enough blooms that the final, I don't know how many generate before they start ticking. But you generally have enough so that I think it's usually about 6, somewhere around there. I think I can count 5 or 6 blooms on, and then once you're generating over that, the old ones start ticking off. So it is a bit of like a slow bomb, and you're kind of having to dodge and move around between that time, and without having the freeze. I suppose if I could try Layla quickly. Layla would probably tidy that up. I don't personally use my Layla in this team, but she would solve that issue.
Can't sleep.
So obviously we lose some EM share from Sucrose and some grouping, but I see no reason this should work quite well. And I can even probably then demonstrate a Hyper Bloom, I suppose, as well. So I've just changed my Kooky round, and she's really good. Layla's a great character. I really like Layla and Farazan, two new characters they've added, and Yaoyao here has been a lot of fun as well. Unfortunately, I haven't really got a team to put her in, other than it would be this team, which again is got, or this Barbara Collie duo, which has got multiple different people I can put with them. One truly a really versatile pair. If you haven't built them, I really recommend it. I've done a lot of content covering it, covering particularly Barbara for that reason, because I don't see it as a common thing, and I think it's a lot of fun. It's really, I wish I knew it a bit sooner at the earlier of the game, but I don't. But I always kind of want to get to this point where I can sort of help other people or have my own take on the game. See, like there, see, no, I should have, that's my bad. That's the problem I'm not used to with Yaoyao. So with her burst, you've got to let her run around a little bit. And I hot swapped it there very quickly. We'll actually get Hyper Bloom with this boss over here, with this giant hilly trail, so I might not swap off. This will be an interesting one, because Yaoyao is super underleveled here. I'm actually surprised
Let's dance.
he's doing as good as she's doing. Which is why I'm doing the video so early. I was actually waiting to, probably next week, to do this when she's built. And I might even do that afterwards, but I think so far this is already kind of pretty self-explanatory. If anyone's familiar with like
The
Zhangling,
night
or
is cold.
who's in level 1, I guess. Can't think. It's not really Amber. Amber has got an off-field build thing. It's mainly, I guess, Zhangling that's got it. Ooh.
Stay put.
I just did the lantern knife thing. I quite enjoyed that. I think that's quite nice.
Mine to command.
The one of the better events they've done for sure, and it was written really well, and it was obviously voice acted really well as
The
usual.
night is cold.
Usually a lot of stuff's quite boring, I find, but I actually quite found that quite enjoyable. They had a lot of characters, seemingly, for me at least, meeting for the first time. I don't know what they did over... Oh, no. I don't know what they did over Lantern Rights.
Stars, shine for me. You play.
And I think ultimately that's what I've really enjoyed the most out of this game.
My guiding
Is
star.
the constant updates. It feels like the devs really do care, sort of thing.
Don't be scared. Not now.
And there's a very passionate community behind it. Depends where you want to look. Ah, man, these trees. Yeah, Layla's really good. If you can get Layla, build her. She's kind of like Dana, really low investment. And really powerful. She doesn't really do a lot of damage, but like Barbara here, she's just enabling like reactions. Like she just freezes your targets perfectly. Like my Layla's not even that well built. It's got, yeah, a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer. Which again probably isn't a better one. I know I've got energy recharge. Mainly HP sort of focus, substats, Syro damage. I did have a crit rate piece, and even earlier I was looking, and I put that crit rate piece into this HP piece. Now, I don't know if I would regret that or not. I don't know. I think the damage is better because she scales on HP, but I did kind of... I don't know. I'd like to... Probably shouldn't have done that, but it's what it is. What weapon she got? It's got Sacrificial Sword. She can kind of have anything, to be honest. Even this Harbinger of Dawn or whatever. I'll do one more demo. I wasn't planning to do all this, but it's fine. It's everyone still watching this. Thank you very much.
Wait for my signal.
It's probably a bit too much. My preferred team for Hyper Bloom at the minute, and I've just built this Kuki, and I'll show Kuki in a second. I'm hoping we can win Yalan on the 50-50. Coming up in the next season update, but I've never won a 50-50 on the character banner, and
My experiment will succeed.
I don't really need it. It would just be nice. Yolanda's really nice. I do like it. But this is one of my better sort of Hyper Bloom teams. I was just playing with this before. I don't know. You wouldn't really per se want a double Dendro in many of these teams. Really, Collie is sufficient. But I suppose this is going if
I'll take good care of everyone.
support, maybe for Nahida or Al Haytham, I suppose it's possibly Yaoyao's best placement, or maybe just a Hyper Bloom team similar to this. I don't know. But I thought I'd show this. I'll show my Kuki build as well. I don't know where we got it. I think I've murdered some things around here earlier, so I don't know if they're going to be there. But she was on a full HP Emblem of Severed Fate set, and that's It's okay. It's okay. This was Mona's Elemental Mastery. She's now got that, and Mona's got Attack Piece. I did that yesterday. She's kept HP Piece. And I'd like to give her old HP set to Yelan. That's kind of ideal, really, but whatever. So we've got Elemental Mastery again. So EM, HP, EM. And I did have her with Lion's Roar way back when with the HP set. And then since Bennett's got that, and I got this new event weapon, and I've given that to her, and actually this was what initially led me to build the EM set, and this has been really good. I can see why she's been quite favored with this. I initially wanted to build this, but I didn't have the pieces. All I had available was HP, so that's why she had it initially anyway. I've never really played this the Millilith domain. I've never really done it, and I had one quick go yesterday with about 100 resin, and I got two purple pieces, which I've given one of them to her, and I got this as well. I think I did have some older pieces way back when, but I deleted them ages ago, way before some of these HP scalers came out in the game, which is good, and I think they did that to sort of solve a lot of the artifact problems. So there is many places in the map we can go. It's just a matter of have I killed it yet or not. I'm pretty sure I've killed stuff around here. I've got some usual places I just go and do testing with. And it's a matter. This has been a nice route because there's quite a consecutive group of enemies we can just walk around. And there's loads of treasure hoarders and stuff over here. My instincts is here, but I think I killed them all over here as well. Let's see. I see him. Okay, good. But if this helps you with Yaoyao, please leave a like. It does help my channel.
Don't be scared.
And I do appreciate people who enjoy my Genshin videos.
Let the show begin. Our bond is strong.
Say no more!
Generally the trick of Hyper Bloom, similar to Bloom. Oh, you bastard.
I'll settle this.
Say no more!
I find dodging the samurai really hard. I find that their attacks like really difficult to time, and then even then some of them have got like 3 attacks in one. Having like the perfect timing on that's like really difficult. But anyway, you got to generate the blooms and then say use Kuki to activate the hyper bloom. And before on my HP set, she would tick maybe, I don't know, anything from like 2,000, 3,000 damage, maybe sometimes 6,000 damage. Not too big numbers. Whereas with this, she seems to be doing that, if not better, sometimes.
Our bond is strong.
Yeah, so I hit for like 12k on
Say
that.
no more!
I keep expecting Collie. The only problem here is Collie's downtime on her boomerang, so that's where a Yaoyao would probably fix that. And if you're not careful, yeah, they all just die before we can... Okay, there's a group over here, we're going to say them. But overall, a lot of fun.
Have a lucky day!
I'll protect us. Stand with me. Just like we rehearsed. Stay put. Dissipate.
As you can see, it's pretty effortless. When you build it, all seems to work together. I think I've shown all my characters as much as I've shown, but I think that's really good that she's that good. I'll go over artifacts again at the end here. I might have skimmed over them earlier, but they're kind of hashed together. This is the flower dice again. Flower of Paradise Lost. Maybe it should have been called Flower Dice. I've said that in 2 videos now. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. No one's really talked about this set. I can't really find much information on it. When I first read about it, after knowing how good Gilded Dreams was, I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. I did even contemplate swapping my Barbara to this set. I've had some really nice pieces, to be honest. I'd say if this is the set you want, the domain's fine. If you want this Desert Pavilion set, good luck, because I say I spent probably easily a few thousand resin over a few weeks in that domain. I got like nothing. This is probably that was probably the best piece I had out of it, and that was on a flower, and I've already got 3 others that are okay as well. So, but as for this set, I got loads. I can build probably another 3 or 4 sets with how many okay pieces I have had out of it, and I've actually burned some today. Sorry, I was going to go over a set again. So it's got that, it's got attack, it's got an elemental mastery piece. I was going to burn that, as I said, but I think we burned the attack one instead. Dendro and crit rate. So I just built a lot my collie essentially, but just a bit more EM. She seems to work really good, I'd say. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.